Welcome to I Say Yes and with Alycia Larson, the podcast where we dive into all things spiritual and watch as we grow as humans and expand as the powerful spiritual beings we know we are. Let's dive in.
We're going to talk about it. Today we are going to talk about what it is that I'm doing and where I'm going and what I see with this space. So recently it was my mother's 2-year anniversary of passing away from cancer. And it was an interesting time, to say the least. It was a time of reflection and it was a time of real connection with my mom, and it was beautiful. But I was definitely in my emotions a lot. But here's the thing, what I was checking in from time to time, and I was like, do I need to be cleansing this? Why is so much emotion bubbling up? And I kept hearing spirit telling me, no, allow yourself to feel, because it's in this feeling that you're feeling and generating the love that you want and need right now. And it was this beautiful message, because this has happened often when, all of a sudden, I feel this rush of emotion coming through. And the reason I'm feeling that rush of emotion coming through, and this happens often when I'm channeling, is because that emotion is supported with the deepest love that I've ever felt. And when it comes to the surface, that is how I express and I release. And when I allow myself to release the emotion that I need to release in that moment, I'm actually allowing that love to radiate around me. And it's this beautiful thing that I say yes to, allowing myself to be this example, because there has to be a reason that I am so in tune with emotion. There has to be a reason why I belly laugh so easily and also cry so easily. Both ends of the spectrum happen very easily to me and for me, and there has to be a reason. And this has so much to do with it. And oftentimes, emotion will come up, and it will come up in tears. But I have been blessed so much that also laughter is used as a healing radiance around me. For example, when I was in Costa Rica on a retreat, we were doing some air healings, and I could not stop laughing. It just was. I was laughing, and it was in that moment that it was like, no, in all honesty, laughter is healing. And if everyone around me can experience the laughter and the joy that I was feeling in those moments, and if they only experience it by witnessing it, I'm still radiating that love and that healing, and that's coming into them in however way that they allow to receive and do. And so part of this journey that I want to share with you is in loss. So as you know, so much of what I do is I am shifting what grief has to look like and feel like for people, so that it doesn't have to have the denseness all the time of the loss and pain that happens with grief. Because here's the thing, grief happens because there is a loss in our life. And grief can happen in different stages. It can be a loss of a loved one. It can be a lot like a loss due to death. It can be a breakup. It can be an end of a career. There's so many other areas of grief, and all of them are valid. But here's the thing. Oftentimes we look at grief as this thing that you have to experience. It has to last so long, and your life has to define the grief you're experiencing. Otherwise, what does it even mean? Your love doesn't equate to what it should have looked like. And here's the beautiful thing. I had a session with one of my mentors on the 10th, which was the anniversary of my mother's passing. And we were going through this thing, and there was there were these guilt spirits that were connected with me. And as I was kind of like figuring that all out and like allowing myself to release them and sending them to the light with so much love because they don't need to feel that guilt themselves either, um, there was this realization of how beautiful my life has turned and how much it has blown my mind in the last 2 years. And then there's that moment of guilt of, oh, did my life get better because my mom died? So not having her here anymore. Is that it? And then as I was talking this through with my beautiful mentor Camden, I was like, no, here's the thing. My life is better than it's ever been. And my mom passed away 2 years ago. One doesn't equal the other. It's two facts of life. And the fact is, my life gets to keep getting better. And I also think that this is such a beautiful message about honoring the people that we love, because so often we think that if you really loved the person that's gone, like for example, a married couple, if they never love again, if they're alone the rest of their lives, then that means that that was a true love. Can we please stop that story? Can we stop defining our story by these increments? Because love is supposed to be felt throughout our lives, and we get to define what that looks like, and we get to create that experience. But somebody else who has moved into a new relationship doesn't mean they don't still love that person that they were with before that is no longer here on earth. And so I get to experience a beautiful life that keeps blowing my mind. And I also get to acknowledge that my mom did pass away. And I know that my mom is supporting me on the other side in a way that I can't even fathom. And there are things that she's orchestrating for me so that I do have a more beautiful life. And that's where I get to honor her, is by saying yes to that and living it. So that's like a huge part of where this story and where this podcast came from, is because I am saying yes to opportunities and I'm saying yes to all of the possibilities and I'm stepping into them and I'm living them and I'm experiencing them in a beautiful way that only I get to. And you get to do the same thing. You get to experience life in whatever beautiful way that you're choosing to. But let's say yes to opportunities and saying yes to, like, when we see blessings happen to other people, when we say yes to that, we are sending out that message that, like, oh, we want to see more of that. We want to witness more of that. And that person receiving that thing that I wanted just means that I get to radiate with that too. And I get to sit in that energy and I get to receive that. And it gets to be better. So that's what this is about. This is about experiencing and acknowledging life in such a beautiful way. Because I acknowledge that my life did shift when my mom passed away. And I would hope my life would shift even when she was alive, because I actually know it did, because that's what started me on this beautiful journey. She was still here. And so I'm going to leave this message short today, but I just ask, what things are you experiencing around your life? What things are you witnessing around your life? And are you saying yes to them? And are you saying, what's next? What more? Because guess what? When my friend messaged me and she said, I just managed to get myself a free, fancy vegetable juicer. I don't want a juicer, but guess what? I say yes to her receiving that, and I say yes to something else blowing my mind. And I say yes to all the opportunities that I'm receiving. An opportunity landed in my lap yesterday at work, and I'm saying yes to that, and I get to play with that energy, and I get to play with my feminine spirit and say, feminine spirit, I love that this opportunity landed in my lap, and I love how it's going to play out for me. And it's going to blow my mind, and it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be exactly what I want and exactly what I need, because that's what I'm calling in. And I am the great creator of my life. And so I know this was an interesting interesting riff coming back and forth, but I just want you to know that even when you have a day where you feel like you are so in your emotions, you feel lost, you can easily check in with yourself and you can ask, and I'll show you how to do that. So you can easily check in. And in this example, if you're feeling your emotions coming up, because maybe that's an anniversary of somebody who's passing or something like that, you can check in with your inner child and say, inner child, what do I need to know about these emotions that are coming up right now? And allow yourself to receive a message. And the message that I received is to allow myself to feel it. Because as I was feeling it, I was increasing the love around me. And even though there was moments of sadness, that's not wrong and that's not bad. And maybe your inner child will tell you you're holding on to something we need to let go of. So here's what we're going to do if they tell you that. You're going to take a deep breath. And you're going to say, ancestors, soul guides, I release this, and say whatever they said you needed to release into the light with love. And shower through me love, and allow me to feel that. And that is just a simple, basic way that you can start to release and then end the situation with receiving love. Because if we can end any situation with receiving love, we've changed the game for ourselves. And that's what this is about. That's what life is about. Life is about upgrades. Life is about expansion. And if everything we can do can end with radiating love, oh, why wouldn't we do it? I know I want that, and I'm going to do that. If you have any questions at all, please contact me. I have so much coming up. I love you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of I Say Yes and with Alycia Larson. I hope you feel inspired and empowered to embrace your inner power and manifest the life you desire. Remember, the journey to self-discovery and empowerment is ongoing, and I'm here with you every step of the way. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us reach more souls ready to say yes to their own potential. Don't forget to follow me on social media for more insights, inspiration, and updates on upcoming episodes. Together, we can create a community of empowered individuals living their dream lives. Until next time, keep saying yes to yourself, yes to your dreams, and yes to the power within you. Stay magical and keep shining your light.